is money real? Is the U.S. dollar real? And let me back this up by a little history lesson, I guess.
Yeah. I see where this is going.
72.
Yep.
We went off the
Bretton Woods.
We went off the gold standard.
Yep.
Which Nixon said was going to be temporary.
Yep.
Yet here we are 50 years later.
Yep.
U.S. dollar is backed by itself.
Yep.
Or in some, it's even backed by the petrodollar, which is oil.
Exactly.
But let's take a fast forward to just a few weeks ago, where crypto, FTX.
Yep.
What's crypto backed by? Well, itself.
Yeah.
So it's not regulated.
Yep.
So how is the dollar not the exact same Ponzi scheme as crypto? But if you're going to say, what's it backed by? Itself.
The faith of the U.S. government.
Well, what you should say is, what's the U.S. dollar backed by? Our nuclear weapons. Yep. Which I think is a lot more fair, because who's going to call us on our debt? No one. We're going to blow them up.
What is that term for? It's not first strike deterrent, but mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
I guess that the U.S. dollar. You could argue it's backed by mutually assured destruction.
I mean, that didn't stop Russia.
Yeah.
But I mean, seriously, I think that's a good actual case study to take a look at the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar is backed by itself, which means it's not backed by anything. It's backed by this imaginary thing that we all agree on.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when it was gold, it was actually backed by a physical thing that had value,
right? That
would fluctuate with the markets. So how is the dollar not different from crypto?
I guess because the government comes into play, the government controls it. So for better or for worse, it's not some hipster dude living in the Bahamas, trying to be effectively altruistic and using the means of exchange of crypto as a way to fund that. I don't know. It's interesting, and again, this kind of ties a bit to my profession, because what we do at R3 is we've kind of taken the technology that underpins crypto with putting things on a shared distributed ledger, allowing for kind of free, frictionless exchange. But then what we've done on top of that is we've made that ledger private and permissioned. So you have those same means of frictionless exchange, but in a completely controlled environment. So you're leveraging all those efficiencies that come from that Wild West unregulated space in a more in a much more stable, managed, secure fashion. And I think that really it is a cool business model in a way. But I think that also we do sometimes struggle with it.
Yeah, crypto is interesting because it's unregulated.
Yes,
that's what makes it sexy.
Exactly.
That's what makes it dangerous.
Exactly.
Like U.S. dollar, it's like it's backed by the government. But what's the government backing it with? Itself.
Yeah.
So it's the same problem. It's like, how is money real? That's why I suppose, who cares if the debt's high? It's not real anyway. Yeah. And who do we owe the money to?
Do you ever listen to the Odd Lots podcast?
No.
Okay, so it's two guys, or it's a guy and a girl from Bloomberg, Joe Weisenthal and Tracy Alloway. But Joe had this whole thing a couple of years ago about the easiest solution to the national debt would be to mint a $1 trillion coin.
I have heard this theory.
Yes. So MTFC, mint the effing coin.
Yeah.
And that would instantly make all our debt problems go away.
It would.
So
would it though? Because isn't this printing more money?
Well, yeah, it is it's printing more money, but you're taking it from the mint and depositing it in the treasury, and I guess that solves all the problems.
But the same thing though. Like if money's backed by itself, you can just create money. Why not just create more money then? Yeah. If it's not real, if it's well agree, it's funny money. Like we all
Monopoly money.
Like we all agree, the economy is based off what people believe. So if everyone believes that money isn't real, just give people money. Yeah. It sounds too simple. It'd never work. Yeah.
I feel like we're getting, we've gotten dangerously close to that between, stimulus and student loan forgiveness and everything else. Yeah, it's only money, right?
Yeah, it is only money. Well, student loan forgiveness, I would love that 10,000 forgiveness. Right. It would cut my loan in half.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, please. But what I said from the beginning, Christian and I have talked on this podcast about student loan forgiveness. It doesn't fix the problem. In fact, it doesn't even address the problem. It ignores the problem. It makes the problem worse. So do I support student loan forgiveness? Duh, I have it.
Right.
But do I support student loan forgiveness? No, doesn't do anything.
Exactly.
It doesn't do anything.
Yeah. And it's just funny. You look at I think if you look at the numbers now, I think you've got more and more students going to college than ever before. But at what cost? And what are they learning? And what are they taking away? It's like I don't think that you can, like the type of stuff that happens in in the space that I operate in is very in fintech in general is it's really business school 101. It's identifying a marketplace, it's identifying a way to service that marketplace, and then figuring out so using kind of the business or econ side of the brain to identify identify a need, identify a market, and then using the finance side of the brain to figure out what do I have to spend to address that market and how do I scale up.
Right.
That's really all you need to know to be to at least kind of dip your toe into founding your own business. I think that's. I don't know how much of that is being taught in schools right now. I feel like everything I hear about on the news and everything else is all about basket weaving or
humanities
or humanities or those kinds of things. Exactly.
That's another thing. You have kids.
Yep.
College age, about to go to college.
One is out of college, and one will be going to college in a couple of years.
What did they go to school for out of college?
My daughter went to school for sociology, and she is now a social worker. And yes, she has some student debt. And yes, Daddy writes a check for it every month.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My parents had to bail me out a few times with that as well. So hey, we're millennials. You're gonna be paying for us until you're dead.